list. I'm going to start with that.
This is the MVP list,
This is the MVP list, and then I'm going to give you my picks from this list.
Okay. This is the top 8
This
players.
is the top 8 players,
MVP nominees.
statistically, based on what they've done. All right. Now, I'm going to start at the bottom here with the kid that I love to watch. I got your Pistola. All right, I got your Pistola is somebody who, if you watch him play, if you watch the way he plays the game, the way he gets into people's heads and talks, it's amazing. The kid's just sick. He talks trash to the Ogre twins. Who does that? What 15-year-old kid does that? Pistola does.
Well,
because
16
he can.
now.
Yes, he turned 16 yesterday.
Congrats.
We got
Pistola.
Victory X, a guy who does everything and anything for his team. Every battle that team gets involved in, he's in the middle of it.
Victory X. That's right, people. Victory X is in the
MVP
top 8.
candidate. Ogre 2. A lot of people might say Ogre 2. Well, Ogre 2 is the greatest Halo player of all time. There's no doubt about it, no question about it. A lot of people would say that he's at a crossroads. He has some decisions to make outside of the game in terms of what he's going to do, how he's going to focus on it. But the guy has been solid, and I think that, let's say Final Boss wins it here this weekend. All he's going to do is cement his legacy as one of the greatest of all time. Roy, sickest BR on the circuit.
Roy's our boy.
Roy, who basically you say, well, how did this guy become famous? Because he's like, so many people can relate to him. He came up, he worked his ass off, he became a top player, and he's solid. The kid is just solid. Then we got T Squared, okay? A lot of people say, oh, T Squared, he's your boy, you just pamper him. The guy's stats are ridiculous this season. Yes, he plays on the Yankees and he's surrounded by superstars, but you know what? That's because he's put himself there, and you can't knock him for it. Hysteria. This kid is ridiculous. We talked about it. I've only seen him have 1 or 2 bad games all season long.
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
I will stand by that, and I'll show you the games on VOD. The kid is just ridiculous, and when he's in a groove, I don't know that there's anybody who can be more dominant than him. Now, then there's Snipe Down, all right? New face. In a lot of ways, people are a little upset maybe that he's getting so much attention. There's a reason. Check his stats out. He's in another league compared to a lot of the top pros. And then there's a guy who I actually think is got the best in-game ability of anybody I've seen this season. It's Mason, also known as Neighbor, a kid who has had a rough season. He's gone through a lot. He made the switch off a straight, went to FB. Not sure that that's worked out the way that he's wanted to, but I do believe that when Mason is just allowed to play his game and he's in his zone, that he is the best player I have seen on the circuit. Now, that's not to take away from anybody else, but I just think that Neighbor has the ability, like, he's sneaky. He comes in your backyard. He takes your dog.
Takes your dog.
It's for real.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal all the way. So
all right, that's your 8. Now give me your 5.
8. All right, so here's my 5. All right, and I got to go with I got your Pistola in there. And this is not in order. This is just my 5 guys. Pistola, watch him play, watch how he stays alive, and what he gives to his team. He's on a team where he has to do a lot more than a lot of the other guys on this list. All right, follow with that, T Squared. A lot of people will say, well, you know, maybe he's not the same level. Maybe he's not the best player on his team. Maybe all 3 guys on his team are better than he is. You know what? I think that what he brings to the game, his dedication, his focus, and his determination does a lot for straight ripping. Then we got a Snipe Down. I have to say, just based on what this kid's done, coming onto the scene out of nowhere is amazing. We've never seen anything like it before. Then I got Hysteria, who I seriously think could be the difference maker this weekend at the championships. If this kid catches fire and stays on fire all weekend long, I don't know that you can bet against his team. And finally, I'm going to wrap it up with Mason, a kid I love to watch play. I always have. I feel like he's gotten a bum rap. There's some stuff that's flown around about him, about some of the decisions that were made. You can't question him, though. What's in his heart is in his heart. He went with his own mind and followed that, made that decision. You might not like it. You may think that he's sold out. But you know what? Obviously, something wasn't right on straight ripping, because if he had stayed on that team, I don't think they would have lost another event all year long. I think they would have run the table. But having said that, he is definitely in my top 5.
All right, so let's break it down one more time. Your top 5. I got your Pistola. And then who?
And then I got T2.
T Squared.
I got Hysteria. Snipe Down, and
Neighbor. That is Sundance's top 5.
That's my top 5.
Sundance. He's going to be up in the booth with us every once in a while. All-Star Classic is going to be coming up next. That's the 2008 All-Star Classic presented by Roadrunner High Speed Online.
There you go. I have one last thing before we wrap it up. I want to thank all the fans, all the community members, everybody who watches us, who's out there, who thinks I don't know what I'm talking about, who thinks Puckett says Sneaky Beaver too much. We love you. We don't care. The fact is, without you guys, this doesn't happen. Tell everyone you know. Keep watching. And I also want to thank D-Mac and Nexie. This is my last event of taking a driving role in the commentary position. I'm going to pass it over. We're going to be seeing a lot more D-Mac and Nexie next year.
Say it ain't so.
It's so. I'll be around every now and then, I promise. But in order for us to do what we need to do, I need to be on the other side of the camera and help these guys out and produce a little bit. And it's been an honor to work with somebody who's become one of my best friends on the planet, Chris Puckett, the man. He still can't shoot rockets, but he is the man.
Yeah, all right. Well, Sundance, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Now, guys, we have had the Stride Championship Series go on all season long. The greatest Team Slayer matches. Sundance and I had an opportunity, with the help of Adam Contini, that right, the cameraman and the editor. We put together some of the greatest matches of all time. We've been watching all the players, and we've been keeping track. And now you are going to check out some of the best plays from the top 5 Stride Championship Series nominees, and after all the plays, we will be awarding on the main stage the winner of the Stride Championship Series. Stay tuned. The All-Star Classic and the Stride Championship Series winner is coming up next.
Sweet.
I'm excited.